a group of like-minded individuals trying to raise awareness to our future generations of all possibilities of success other than just college. For more information, visit www.lookwhomadeit.org. Hi again, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm Peter Schwartz, and kind of a bittersweet day here. Welcome to the final edition of Sports Bash, and we've been telling you about it for a couple of weeks now that today the show comes to an end, but it's with mixed emotions because I'll be announcing very, very soon plans for a new podcast that I hope that we'll be able to launch next week. But in the meantime, today is a day of reflecting on the last 3 years of all the fun and nonsense we've had here on the show, and I've selected a good friend to be the final guest on Sports Bash today. Jared WIDMAN, the president of the Indoor Football League, is going to join us at around 1:20, so about 20 minutes from now. The IFL going through some amazing growth this year, and I'm so excited to be part of the broadcast team. I even brought a little prop with me. I got a little souvenir from my game in Iowa this past weekend, so I'm going to show this off to Jared when he comes on the show in a little bit. We're going to have the Sports Bash Media poll question of the day, the last one that we'll do on that. What's hot at ticketbash.com and Coach's Collectibles item of the week. And we're also going to bring back a segment that we used to do here on the show all the time, even going back to when we did the show at MacArthur Airport on LI News Radio. It was a very interesting segment, and it was very popular. A lot of people seemed to like it. It was called Stump the Wiz. So Wiz Kid Vinny Laspanusa was going to join us remotely in the last segment, and we're going to play a final ever edition of Stump the Wiz. And I think he'll like the question. And it's, listen, if you've watched the show for 3 years and you follow along, anybody should be able to answer the question that we have for the Wiz today. So we'll talk to Vinny the Wiz coming up at 1:40. So we're looking forward to that. It is time for the Sports Bash Flash. It's presented by the Marty Lyons Foundation, granting wishes for more than 43 years. The Knicks look to close out the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Game 6 in Atlanta, with the Knicks leading 3-2. So hopefully the Knicks can finish that off tonight. The Yankees lost to the Rangers yesterday, 3-0, but still the Bombers come home after a pretty good 7-2 road trip. They'll open up a series with the Orioles tomorrow in the Bronx. A disastrous night for the Mets, pummeled by the Nationals 14-2 at Citi Field. They'll close that series out, Mets and Nationals, this afternoon in Flushing. And that's the Sports Bash Flash presented by the Marty Lyons Foundation. I thought about, when we knew that this was going to be the last show, you start to think about, like, all right, so what special stuff do you have planned for the last show? And again, this is not, a goodbye. It's the end of Sports Bash, but it's also, for me at least, I'm going to be transitioning into a new sports podcast. Like I said, I hope to have all the details ironed out by tomorrow and announce it on my social media channels. And we hope to get it launched next week. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, we launched Sports Bash in August of 2023. So we almost made 3 years here, and a lot has happened in sports in these 3 years. So I was thinking, like, how do you end the final show? When we came to Governors and we left LI News Radio, we did a little retrospective of our time, at the airport, and obviously we haven't been able to get into Governors since our friend Tony Walker, took ill, and we're still wishing him the best, and thanks to everybody at Governors for everything they did. And we hope to be involved with them again at some point, and just like here, collaborate with Chris Gannon. And at the last minute again, 3 weeks ago, we can't thank Chris enough for letting us finish out the show here at Collaborate. But I was thinking about, ways to end the show. And if you follow the show and you know me, with your family member or just a friend, you know how much of a late night talk show fan that I am. And my favorite late night talk show of all time, hands down, is David Letterman. Favorite host, whether it was the old show at NBC late night, when he went to CBS, he did the Late Show. And one of the staples of late night and the Late Show with David Letterman was his top 10 list. Remember when he left NBC to go to CBS, there was that whole legal thing, whether he was going to be able to bring the top 10 over. Eventually he was, and he did have it on the first show. So I thought, in honor of my favorite late night talk show host, David Letterman, I would pay a tribute to him by having a top 10 list on the monologue here for the final edition of Sports Bash. So here's what I came up with for this. I don't think I've ever done a top 10 in the 3 years we've done the show. I think we've ranked some things, but I've never really done a top 10 list. So here we go. From the home office in Wonton, New York, my top 10 favorite things that happened in sports since Sports Bash went on the air in August of 2023. We don't have a band and we don't have a DJ here, so there's no drum roll or anything like that. So we'll have to do it just with my voice. Again, top 10 list from the home office in Wonton, New York, my top 10 favorite things that happened in sports since Sports Bash went on the air in August 2023. Number 10, I became the general manager of a football team that never actually played. It only lasted 5 months. So insert your own joke there. Number 9, my family and I went to a Jets game last season, and they actually won, which doesn't happen too often. So we had a great time at the Jet game this past season. Number 8, this would be a little higher up the list if it ended differently, but number 8, the Yankees made it to the 2024 World Series, but of course they lost to the Dodgers in 5 games. Number 7, and I put this in here because we're happy we brought Stump the Wiz back today for one final episode. And it was funny because when we did it on a regular basis, either we were inundated with questions from the audience or we didn't get any. So when we didn't get any, we made it up. Full disclosure here on the last episode of Sports Bash. If nobody sent in a question for Stump the Wiz, we made it up. We found another question. So number 7, all of the great Stump the Wiz questions that my wife Cheryl researched and came up with and provided to the show. That's number 7. Number 6, joining American Soccer Club New York as their communications coordinator back in December. We're actually going to launch our second season this coming Saturday. It's the home opener against the New York Shockers, so I'm excited to be a part. So that comes in at number 6. Number 5, and this is a couple of years ago, my family and I and another family got a chance to sit in legend seats at a Yankees game. And if you've never sat in legend seats, I mean, it's kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime thing unless you're filthy rich and you can afford it. But it was amazing. And my kids, who always make fun, especially Bradley, Jared plays along all the time, never really insults the Yankees too much, but Bradley is always insulting the Yankees. That night, we're having dinner in the Legends Club, and he's dining on shrimp and whatever it was, steak, the carving board. He sits down at the table and says, "Dad, for one night, I'm not going to make fun of the Yankees." And that was an unbelievable night. So that comes in at number 5, sitting in legend seats at a Yankee game. Number 4, being invited to Pat LaFontaine's golf outing when it was announced that he would be inducted into the Islanders Hall of Fame. They only invited 2 members of the media to that event. One was our good friend Amkrita, who's been on the show for the Associated Press, and the other was me. Pat handpicked the 2 of us to go to that event. So that comes in at number 4. Number 3, we'll keep it Islanders related. The Islanders drafting Matthew Schaefer. And even though the Islanders didn't make the playoffs this year, I mean, what an unbelievable franchise-changing situation this was for the Islanders to win the draft lottery, get the first pick, and select Matthew Schaefer. And he was everything you could have expected and then some. He's going to win the Calder Trophy as the Rookie of the Year in the NHL. Just an amazing young man on and off the ice, and many great years ahead for Matthew Schaefer in an Islander uniform. And number 2, hired as a broadcaster for the Indoor Football League. And, he started with number 10 with the disaster that I was involved in last year. The Indoor Football League could not have given me an opportunity to bounce back a year later any better. It's been great. I've done a few games. We've got the IFL Cup coming up in New Jersey. Jared WIDMAN, the president of the IFL, is going to be with me in a few minutes, so we'll talk about that. But number 2, joining the Indoor Football League broadcast team. And my number 1 favorite thing that happened since Sports Bash went on the air, as far as sports is concerned. And here's another segment that we'll bring back without any video or photos, but we had this segment called Dad's Time to Brag that we started a few months ago. That's where I brag about my kids, Bradley and Jared, and their sports exploits. So my number one favorite thing that has happened since Sports Bash went on the air in August of 2023, and this is a combined dad's time to brag. My son Jared hit a home run in Little League, and he bowled a career-high 288. And Bradley played in 20 straight college football games since he graduated from high school, even when a certain coach told him he'd never play in college. So there you go. So there's the top 10 list from the home office in Wantagh. And, again, throughout the show, we'll be, reflective about the program. We'll talk about some other cool things that we did. I did want to bring up one thing, and I didn't put it in the top 10 because it was a sports-related top 10, but I was thinking about it this morning, getting ready for the show, thinking about the great moments that we had here on the show. We had so many great guests. And that's the thing. I'm so blessed and so fortunate that, working in this business, and it's coming up, the end of May, it'll be 37 years I'm working in sports broadcasting and journalism. And I've been able to obviously work up, I don't think anybody has a Rolodex anymore. Chris, does anybody have a Rolodex anymore? Like this is a Rolodex right now for anybody, right? The phone. But I joke that I have a pretty good Rolodex from all the things that I've done in my career. And I've been blessed that we've had some pretty good guests on this show. I mean, we've had, Phil Simms and Pat LaFontaine has been on the show. And we had Matt Hardy, the WWE wrestler. We've had, Joe Theismann. We've had, Howard Johnson, Bob Ojeda from the Mets. Jim Leyritz has been on this show. So, I mean, I can't describe how cool it's been to have these. And for me, a lot of them are A-list. They may not be A-list for other people, but for me in my life, a lot of these guests that we've had on the show were A-list, to me personally. And that's really what matters, is for me and my family to enjoy, and the people I work with to enjoy the guests that we've had on the show. And I've been blessed. But I was thinking about, non-sports guests that we've had on the show, and we've had a few. And the one that stands out is Mike Del Giudice, a member of Billy Joel's band. And obviously he made a name for himself with Big Shot, Billy Joel cover band. And then he just kind of, he became a solo act along with his band behind him, but he joined Billy Joel's band, a number of years ago. And I was very fortunate through a mutual person to become friendly with Mike Del Giudice. And we got a chance to go to a bunch of his concerts and go to see, thanks to him and the band's allotment of tickets, we got a chance to go to a couple of Billy Joel concerts, thanks to Mike and his help. And we've become really good friends. And he's opening up a brand new music venue here on Long Island in May called, Live on the Porch. If you remember, during the pandemic, he started this Facebook series called Live on the Porch, and now he's bringing it to life with his own music venue and hoping to be there on opening night. But Mike has been on the show a couple of times. He was on the old show at LI News Radio, and he was on this version of Sports Bash. It was an episode that we did at Governor's. Obviously, we were there most of the last couple of years. And usually, when you have a musical guest, and we've had other musical guests on the show before, but when you have a musical guest and you want that guest to sing and do his thing or her thing on the show, you kind of have to, set that up in advance, because especially if the guest is going to use an instrument. But I never told Mike I was going to ask him to sing on the show. And I said, to Tony Walker before the show, I'm like, I think I can ask Mike to sing. And he goes, yeah, you probably would do it. I'm like, all right. So, he comes on, and I waited till the end of the interview. And I said, I didn't really, set this up with you, but do you mind singing a little song? How about Heroes? And I was not going to ask him to do a Billy Joel song, because he's so proud of his solo material. He's a great songwriter, and some of his work, all of his work, is really outstanding. So I picked one of his own songs for him to sing, and I picked Heroes. And he looked at me. He's like, "Oh, the guitar is right over here, but it's not tuned up. If you're playing the guitar, it's got to be tuned, right?" Now, I'm no musician, so I didn't know anything about this. But it had to be tuned up. And he said, let me take a look. And he reaches down, he gets out of camera for a little bit. But I posted this on my social media today. So he goes and gets the the guitar, and he comes back, and I said, boy, he must think I'm a real pain in the neck. I didn't ask him. And he sits down, he's got the guitar, it's not in tune, he's trying to do something with it. He goes, Pete, you're killing me here. And sure enough, he sings about 30 to 45 seconds of his song Heroes, and I think, again, we've had all these sports guests on the show, and I was thinking this morning, what was the coolest moment that we had on the show? And I think it might have been when Mike Del Giudice sang on the show, because how often do you have that? I mean, we had other musicians on the show, but that I think was the coolest moment. Yeah, listen, it's nitpicking to what we've been able to do, and we've taken the show remotely. We were at some golf outings that we went to. In fact, Chris Gannon engineered both of them. When we went to the Marty Lyons Foundation golf outing and we went to the Big Daddy golf outing, we did special episodes of Sports Bash, live from both of those outings. And Chris engineered both of them, made sure we got on the air, and did a great job setting that up. But I think that was pretty cool for like a top-notch musician to come on the show and perform at the last. He didn't even know he was going to do it, but that's how great of a guy Mike is, and we thank him for that. And again, other things are going to pop into my mind as we move along on this final program, but I wanted to make sure I got that top 10 list in, and I mentioned Mike Del Giudice because I put that up on social media. We're going to take a timeout here on the show. When we come back on this final edition of Sports Bash, we're going to be joined by the Indoor Football League's President of Business Operations, Jared Widman, when we come back right after this. Sponsor, the Embassy Diner.
Embassy Diner has been a beloved staple in the restaurant industry for over 50 years. And the great thing about it is when you walk through the door, you're not a customer, you are family. Every visit promises to be filled with warmth, love, and respect.
And here's an extra treat. If you mention Sports Bash during your visit, you enjoy a free dessert on the Embassy Diner.
Come on down to the Embassy Diner, where great food and great company are always on the menu.
Visit the Embassy Diner, located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage.
In 1982, the Marty Lyons Foundation began with a single heartfelt mission: to bring moments of joy and hope to critically ill children by granting wishes that make their dreams come true. Since that day, we have touched the lives of over 8,600 families, raising over $44 million to grant wishes that offer a beacon of light in their darkest times. These precious wishes cost an average of $7,100 each. And your support is crucial to our mission. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. And with 84 cents of every dollar going directly to supporting our families, you can rest assured your support truly changes lives. The Marty Lyons Foundation operates 11 chapters in 14 states now, working tirelessly to reach as many children as we can. This dedication goes hand in hand with our commitment to transparency and accountability, earning us top ratings on Charity Navigator, Great Nonprofits, and Candid, which underscores our dedication to those we serve. The Marty Lyons Foundation grants wishes to children ages 3 to 17. And what really makes this foundation so special is our willingness to grant not only a first wish, but also consider a second wish to a child who continues to battle a life-threatening illness. We stand by these children, offering them hope and strength through the power of dreams, giving our children the courage to wish for more.
What's your purpose in life? Is your purpose in life to live in the big house and drive the nice car? No. Your purpose in this life is to make it a little bit better for those that follow and realize that we live for today to see a better tomorrow.
Visit MartyLyonsFoundation.org to learn more and get involved.
Welcome back to Sports Bash, the final edition of Sports Bash on this Thursday, April 30th, 2026. I'm Peter Schwartz, and we're spending this final hour reminiscing about the 3 years that we've been on the air with Sports Bash, going back to our days at LI News Radio. And then we brought Chris Gannon on board to be our videographer, and we wound up doing a video version of the show. And then we moved the show to Governor's Comedy Club October of 24. just in time for the playoff runs for both the Mets and the Yankees. And there's been a handful of times where we've come here to Collaborate Studios to do the show, and Chris has welcomed us back with open arms. So, yeah, I think of some of the cool things that we did. We also did this thing called FOP that we launched. I would bring in, friends of mine in the business, whether it was on the sports side or the entertainment, music side. Remember the first one was Amy McGorry. We had her on. She was the first FOP, and of course, we had her on a few weeks ago. She's going through obviously a real serious situation. She's in need of a live liver donor. Look on her socials too and get an update on where she is, but she seems to be optimistic that that's going to work out. But and we obviously wish her the best. We had some really cool FOPs. Kevin Coveas, remember from American Idol? He was an FOP on the show. There's a really Colin Cosell, the Mets PA announcer, was an FOP. Sean Winters from Winters Bros here on Long Island, a big Jet fan. He was an FOP. And the thing was, and Jared is telling me that the link is not working that I sent him. Let's try that again. Chris, you're going to text me a link?
Do it right now.
And I'm going to copy it and I'm going to send it to Jared so he can dial in. So we had Sean Winters was an FOP and a bunch of others. And please, I know this is live television and this is probably very boring, but I just got to make sure I send Jared this new link, and hopefully this will work. We'll have Jared WIDMAN on in just a couple of moments. But we had a lot of fun. We had food segments on the show. I can't tell you how cool it was to be able to anchor this program for 3 years at all the different venues that we did. And we also had some really cool phone calls here on the show. Robin Lake Success. We had Glenn and Flushing that called in. Is Jared there now?
Not yet.
Oh, we're still waiting for Jared to dial in. We sent him the new link, so hopefully that will work for him in just a couple of minutes. Just looking for another text from him. Hopefully he'll be on just a second. Of course, what would a final episode be without a little drama here before we would have the guest on?
It's poetic.
Poetic justice, right? And I'd be remiss if I didn't, thank all the people who were supportive. And we'll do this, at the end of the show too. But when you do a show like this, it's not just the host that's out in front of the camera the whole time. And there's people behind the scenes, whether it was Chris or Tony or other people that were involved. So we're really happy that we were able to do the show. Nothing yet?
No.
Oh my goodness. Maybe it's his issue on his side.
If you call him and put him on speaker, we'll be able to hear him and you'll be able to talk just to get it going.
Well, let's see. I'm waiting for a text back from him to see if he's having any luck. It's the first time we've used that link and it's not working.
Yeah, I think maybe it's his phone because
It's his phone?
I tested the link.
Let's tell him to try it from this is fantastic final show. Try from your computer, tell him.
Try computer, try from phone. Worst case, in a minute, we'll just put him on speaker and it'll be plan B.
All right, plan B. We'll figure that out. Some in-studio guests that we had over time. We had a couple of former Islanders that came into the show. Benoit Hogue, Steve Webb came into the studio. I can't speak to enough, how awesome of an experience this was. And we're going to carry a lot of this over into the new show. Again, we're still kind of finalizing what the new program is going to look like, but we hope to get it off the ground next week. I hope to have some details on that. But again, the same Rolodex that I used for this show we'll use for the new show. And we hope to have the same level of guests and the same type of fun and nonsense that we had. Nothing yet?
No.
He's not even texting me back. It's got to be something on his end, right? This is the first time that we've had an issue with the guest here.
What company is he with?
I have no idea.
Sometimes they block different softwares from allowing you to get on streams. Potentially, I don't know.
He's writing back now. Let's see what he says. It will not let him in. So what do? We call him on the cell phone?
Put him on speaker and just put the phone near the computer.
So come here. Tell me what to do. We're going to call him.
Your call has been forwarded to
Oh,
voicemail.
come on, Jared.
The person you're
See, that's a laugh that David Letterman would have. Let's try it again. Let's see if he answers the phone.
Let him know he's live.
Come on, Jared, answer the phone. I
Your
can't.
call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Oh.
The person you're trying.
And he's asking, can we tape later? No, we're taping the show now. So hopefully he will dial me back. I don't know. I've never had the situation pop up before. Like, what do? You just got to keep going. Maybe we can get Wiz.
Wiz is not either.
Wiz didn't dial in yet?
He dialed in earlier.
He dialed in. We told him to dial back. Later on.
He's probably watching.
Yeah. So you know what I'm going to do until we figure this out? I'm going to move ahead. Let's get to the SportsBash Media poll question of the day. And it's brought to us by the Embassy Diner. This will be the final poll question of the day we do under the auspices of SportsBash. It's Embassy Diner is located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Every customer is considered family at the Embassy Diner. Mention SportsBash and get a free dessert with your meal. The final SportsBash Media poll question ever. What should it take for Mike Brown to come back as the Knicks coach next season? Do they have to finish off Atlanta tonight or in Game 7, get to the Eastern Conference Finals, get to the NBA Finals, or doesn't matter? He should not come back at all. And if you go to our social medias, you'll be able to find it on Twitter and my Twitter. You'll be able to find that question and you can vote on it. It's time for What's Hot at ticketbash.com. If you want to make a last-minute trip to Atlanta tonight, Knicks and Hawks Game 6 tickets are available on ticketbash.com. If you can hop on a flight to Atlanta and get there in time for the game tonight. Game 7 would be at the Garden on Saturday night if necessary. Yankees host the Orioles this weekend at Yankee Stadium. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band at the Garden May 11th and 16th at Barclays Center on May the 14th. Get the best seats at the best prices with no service fees at ticketbash.com. We'll get to the coach's collectibles item of the week, and we're going to take a look at a different item than we had the other day. Howard Johnson autographed Shea Stadium seat back. This is a really cool item. When Shea Stadium closed and was ripped down, you could buy a whole seat from Shea Stadium. You'd be able to buy it from Yankee Stadium also. But in some cases, they didn't have full seats. They had the chair back. So Howard Johnson has signed. Chris, do we have that picture coming up? We actually have an orange chair back in our house from the field level. It's not autographed by anybody, but there you see the chair back. It's autographed by Howard Johnson. A really cool item of the week for Coaches Collectibles. Where you're not paying service fee. I'm getting all flustered here. Coaches Collectibles, your number one source for 100% authentic sports memorabilia and live public autograph events. Check them out online at www.coachescollectiblesny.com. Use code SportsBash. You better hurry up because the code's going to expire for free shipping on all orders. So here's what we're going to do. Let's towel off and reset, hit Control-Alt-Delete. We're going to take another commercial break. We'll try and get Jared WIDMAN on the phone at least when we come back. And then we'll get to Stump the Wiz. We'll say our goodbyes. And if we have to end early, we'll end early. But we'll try and get the technical problems all sorted out when we come back with more Sports Bash right after this. Sponsor, the Embassy Diner.
Embassy Diner has been a beloved staple in the restaurant industry for over 50 years. And the great thing about it is when you walk through the door, you're not a customer, you are family. Every visit promises to be filled with warmth, love, and respect.
And here's an extra treat. If you mention Sports Bash during your visit, you enjoy a free dessert on the Embassy Diner.
Come on down to the Embassy Diner, where great food and great company are always on the menu.
Visit the Embassy Diner located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage.
In 1982, the Marty Lyons Foundation began with a single heartfelt mission: to bring moments of joy and hope to critically ill children by granting wishes that make their dreams come true. Since that day, we have touched the lives of over 8,600 families, raising over $44 million to grant wishes that offer a beacon of light in their darkest times. These precious wishes cost an average of $7,100 each, and your support is crucial to our mission. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. And with 84 cents of every dollar going directly to supporting our families, you can rest assured your support truly changes lives. The Marty Lyons Foundation operates 11 chapters in 14 states now, working tirelessly to reach as many children as we can. This dedication goes hand in hand with our commitment to transparency and accountability, earning us top ratings on Charity Navigator, Great Nonprofits, and Candid, which underscores our dedication to those we serve. The Marty Lyons Foundation grants wishes to children ages 3 to 17. And what really makes this foundation so special is our willingness to grant not only a first wish, but also consider a second wish to a child who continues to battle a life-threatening illness. We stand by these children, offering them hope and strength through the power of dreams, giving our children the courage to wish for more.
What's your purpose in life? Is your purpose in life to live in the big house and drive the nice car? No. Your purpose in this life is to make it a little bit better for those that follow and realize that we live for today to see a better tomorrow.
Visit MartyLyonsFoundation.org to learn more and get involved.
Do the commercials over again. Welcome back to Sports Bash, presented by sponsor, the Embassy Diner.
Embassy Diner has been a beloved staple in the restaurant industry for over 50 years. And the great thing about it is when you walk through the door, you're not a customer, you are family. Every visit promises to be filled with warmth, love, and respect.
And here's an extra treat. If you mention Sports Bash during your visit, you enjoy a free dessert on the Embassy Diner.
Come on down to the Embassy Diner, where great food and great company are always on the menu.
Visit the Embassy Diner located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage.
In 1982, the Marty Lyons Foundation began with a single heartfelt mission: to bring moments of joy and hope to critically ill children by granting wishes that make their dreams come true. Since that day, we have touched the lives of over 8,600 families, raising over $44 million to grant wishes that offer a beacon of light in their darkest times. These precious wishes cost an average of $7,100 each, and your support is crucial to our mission. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. And with 84 cents of every dollar going directly to supporting our families, you can rest assured your support truly changes lives. The Marty Lyons Foundation operates 11 chapters in 14 states now, working tirelessly to reach as many children as we can. This dedication goes hand in hand with our commitment to transparency and accountability, earning us top ratings on Charity Navigator, Great Nonprofits, and Candid, which underscores our dedication to those we serve. The Marty Lyons Foundation grants wishes to children ages 3 to 17. And what really makes this foundation so special is our willingness to grant not only a first wish, but also consider a second wish to a child who continues to battle a life-threatening illness. We stand by these children, offering them hope and strength through the power of dreams, giving our children the courage to wish for more.
What's your purpose in life? Is your purpose in life to live in the big house and drive the nice car? No. Your purpose in this life is to make it a little bit better for those that follow and realize that we live for today to see a better tomorrow.
Visit MartyLyonsFoundation.org to learn more and get involved.
Well, the podcast gods are just not cooperating with us today for whatever reason on the last show. So we've been unable to hook up with Jared WIDMAN from the Indoor Football League. We asked him to call the show, and we'll just put him on audio only, but we're still trying to get that to happen. In a few minutes, Vinny Laspanuso, aka The Wiz, is going to join us, and we're going to have one final episode of Stump the Wiz here on the program. So it's really unfortunate. I was looking forward to talking to Jared. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with the Indoor Football League, and wanted to talk. In fact, one of the things we were going to talk about, the league just announced it today. There was a game earlier this season, Tucson and New Mexico on Yahoo, and it attracted the largest audience ever for an indoor football league game on television, streaming, regular platform, whatever. 220,000 people were dialed in for that game, and there were 9.2 million minutes viewed for that game. So that was pretty cool to see that happen and be a part of that. But actually, I was more a part of the number 2 most watched game in the Indoor Football League this season. On April 12th, I was the sideline reporter for the Tulsa game at Orlando. 159,000 people tuned in for that game. There were 1.3 million minutes of viewing time. So great things are going on with the Indoor Football League. One of the other things we wanted to talk about with Jared was the IFL Cup, which is coming to American Dream in New Jersey, May 18th and 24th. I'll be the PA announcer for those 4 games. So New Mexico, Orlando, Vegas, and Arizona are all coming to New Jersey. They're going to play an in-season tournament on the 18th, 2 semifinal games, and then on the 24th, there's going to be a consolation game and the championship game. So while we still hope to get hooked up with Jared WIDMAN before the end of the show, we were thinking about this the other day. Should we do this? Should we not? It's kind of like, we were talking before about, David Letterman and some of the things that, he did on the show, and would he bring something back for the last episode? So I was talking to Chris, as you know, the other day, and said, should we bring back Stump the Wiz for the last episode? And my family agreed that we should do it. Chris said it. I came around to thinking, let's do that. So we are exactly doing that. So let's welcome back to the show for the first time in a long time our good friend. He is the Wiz, Vinny Laspanuso. He's got a very serious look on his face there. It's a still shot. Vinny, how you doing?
Doing good. There's some camera issues at the moment, so that's why it looks like that. But
okay.
But step outside. You probably have bad service.
So step outside. You might have some bad service. So then again, this has been an unbelievable final show that we're going to certainly win a Marconi Award and a Murrow Award for this program. Vinny, can you still hear us?
I can hear you well, but the camera still. There's something wrong with the camera. I'll just do
All
it.
right, then we'll just use your voice for now. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
All right. So yeah, I can hear you. How have you been since the last time we had you on the show?
Well, Peter, a lot has changed in my life, and I mean that not just because I'm no longer on SportsBash outside of this episode, but because after that I said, what, I'm going to get myself a microphone and everything. I'll do it myself. But then I got a call from this person named Kevin from Manhattan. And he said, hey, my name is Kevin. I'm from 77 WBC in Manhattan, the AM radio station. And they said, we want to have you come in for an interview.
I'm familiar with them, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I got there immediately the next day, dressed up and everything. And they said, we love your resume and you're hired. And yeah, at long last, after so long of pushing and pushing and pushing, I finally got a real deal. I finally got there, and I've been there for 8 months now. I'm loving it every single step of the way. I'm loving all the hosts. They all love having me. All my coworkers love having me there too. It truly is fantastic, Peter. And
you know what, Wiz, we're ecstatic for you, so happy, and we'd like to think that SportsBash played a little bit of a role in giving you the confidence to go out there and get that job.
I was about to say that, Peter. And I'm not just saying that just to make just to kiss your behind. I mean it. I
That would take
truly
quite a
believe.
while.
I truly do believe that based on my experience at Sports Bash, whether it be for LI News Radio or for Governors or even for Collaborate, I would not be where I am at 77 WABC if it was not for the work of you. And I mean that, Peter. Seriously, I cannot thank you enough for everything you have done for me, especially as it took me a while to get there. I really enjoy my time at Sports Bash, and that expression when one door closed, one door opened. And I wanted to let you know that you played a really, really huge part of me developing as an individual. And I've always appreciated you, Peter. Seriously, I just can't express
I
enough
see.
words to
Now the
say
ass kissing is really starting to pick up.
no, it's not ass kissing. Believe me, it's a truly way of saying thank you for everything. Seriously,
Well,
and
no,
I'm
it's been our pleasure, and we've missed you, but we wanted to bring you back for this last episode. And what do you say we have one more little spin of Stump the Wiz? What do you think?
I don't see why not. Do it for old time's sake. By the way, in case anyone's curious, my love for Hall of Fame stuff has not died down. In fact, I've gotten over a dozen people into local Hall of Fames all across the nation.
We were wondering that, yes.
Yeah. But I still love Hall of Fames now. But I said, I wanted to focus on local, and I've done a good job. And a lot of those people end up becoming the featured speakers, and that would not happen without me and the confidence that you instilled in me. There we go with the essing again.
we are proud of you, and we are excited for everything that lies ahead for you. But we are going to play Stump the Wiz one final time. And if people don't remember how we did this, we would put 2 minutes on the clock. I've got it on my phone here. And, when we were in the studio in Governors or at LI News Radio, we had that whole sound effect thing, and we didn't want to bust the budget to bring it back for this final episode. So we're just going to go on the stopwatch on my phone, the timer on my phone, and I'll keep you updated on how much time is left. We give you 2 minutes to answer the question, and we have no prize. This was not submitted by anybody. It was a last second thing. It's a question that I came up with. So we're really only going to do this, just for the fun of it.
Why not?
If you get it, we don't have any prize for you other than, a good pat on the back. How about that?
That's all right. Find me.
Okay. So here is the question. Again, we're going to put 2 minutes on the clock, and Wiz will have 2 minutes to answer the question. And again, he's got to answer the question completely before you get the buzzer at the end of the show. All right, Wiz, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Always ready.
Here is the question. Name 10 guests who have been on Sports Bash since the show launched in 2023. 10 guests that we've had on Sports Bash since the show launched in 2023. We have 2 minutes on the clock, and away we go.
Well, Mike Del Judas is one that I remember that.
You got that?
Phil Simms, Joe Theismann, John Heyman. Chad Pennington, did I say him?
Yes. No, you got that. That's 5.
Mm-hmm. I know that you had Chris Vaccaro also. I remember him.
Yes, we did have Chris. Yes, absolutely. We had him on at the airport. So we're down to 1 minute and 30 seconds. You need 4 more names.
Steve Summers, I think, also came on.
Yes,
one time.
Steve was recently on the show. He had a new book out. Yes.
I think Fireman Ed, you also had.
Fireman Ed was a guest on the show. We're at 8.
Brad Topol, I think, was also another one too. If I'm not
yes,
mistaken.
That's number 9. You need 1 more.
And I'm also thinking of the time you also had Joe Rexroad, I think, was also the last one.
Who was that?
Joe Rexroad.
I don't know who that is. It doesn't sound like a guest I would have.
Maybe McMahon.
Joe on the clock. I'm not going to allow that because I don't know who you're talking about.
What about Joe McMahon? Did you have him?
Who?
Joe McMahon.
Oh, that's right. The former equipment manager for the Islanders. That's 10. You got it with 40 seconds left on the clock. A very successful return to Sports Bash and Stump the Wiz for Vinny Laspinuso. Did you enjoy it? Is it a little nice to go back in the DeLorean and go back to the future?
Love to do that. And seriously, Peter, I really do mean it. Thank you for everything. Thanks to you. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to Nick. Thanks to Vinny. Everyone there. it's been a huge stepping stone, and it felt really good to come back and just flex out those old muscles that I've always had as a nice little, blast from the past. But, we're all, like I just said before, one door closed, another door opens. I can't wait to see what the rest of your career has in store for you, Peter.
Me too.
Same for Cheryl, same for Bradley, same for Jared. I'm wishing nothing but the best for everyone involved in your family. Seriously, everyone.
Vinny, thank you very much, my friend. Same to you, and hope to see you soon. Continued success at WABC. I used to work there many years ago. It's a great radio station, so best of luck with everything there, and we're very happy that you were able to be on the final show.
Anytime, Peter. Thanks for having me on. It means the whole world.
You got it. Take care, Vin. Wiz coming back, and he gets the answer.
So proud.
But here's the thing. And my mother texted me because you remember when he used to be on the show and we would give him a hard time sometimes, right? He would say some stupid things, really, like he'd put his foot in his mouth a lot. And I used to bust his chops a lot about that. And my mother would always text me, "You're being too hard on Wiz. Stop being hard." And she texted me before the show, like, "Make sure you're not hard on Wiz today." But what was the name of the guest that he came up with? That
Joe something?
Joe Rexrod? Does that name strike a bell to you?
No.
See, what I should have done, if I wanted to really bust his chops, I should have taken the name off that he got. So I should have had to name one extra one because I never heard of that guy before.
Well, you didn't count it.
No, I didn't count it, but just because he brought up something that didn't make any sense, maybe I should have a penalty to take one away, right?
I still say he would have won.
Oh, he was rolling. He was rolling.
Could have just won it. I think so.
Yeah. Here's the thing. So the new show, hopefully next week or the week after. Why are you giving me another laptop?
Oh, just got a weird notification.
Oh. Now I've got two laptops in front of me.
Well, it's safety.
Could that have been the problem with Jared?
No.
No, it's not. Okay. Well, here we go. So I was thinking about ways of ending the show. I wasn't expecting to do it at 1:48, but we're going to do it right now because we had Wiz, and unfortunately, we didn't get Jared WIDMAN on the program. But again, we'll get him on the next one. So here's what I wanted to do. I mentioned it a couple of times on the show. We had some great guests. We had some great callers. We had some great behind-the-scenes people. We had some really good times doing this show. And for those who don't know what the origin of the show was, Vinny Greco from Vinny Tickets, from Ticket Bash, and I were introduced by a mutual friend, Kenny Zorf, on the Marty Alliance Foundation. And a few years ago at the draft party, the first communication I had with Vinny was, as you know, obviously you don't get paid for doing a charity thing like that, but Kenny wanted to do something nice for me and my family, and he arranged with Vinny to give us 4 tickets to a Yankee game a few years ago. And I went out to lunch with Vinny after we went to the Yankee game, and he talked about wanting to start a podcast, and him from the ticket perspective, me from the sports perspective, and we went back and forth on a number of things, and we agreed we were going to work together on a podcast. And what's the name of the podcast? And I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, sports for me, bash for him from Ticket Bash. And that's how we got the name SportsBash. And we thought about it. It was July of 2023 when this all came about. But we didn't start the show right away because he was going on vacation, and my family and I were going to Canton for the Pro Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So we launched the show in August of 2023. And we were at LI News Radio from August 2023 to October 2024. Then we moved to Governors, and obviously a bunch of times here at Collaborate Studios in Lynbrook. And again, just a great ride, a lot of fun. We obviously had some ups and downs with the program, both on the air and in everyone's personal lives. Nothing is ever easy when you do something like this for 3 years, but along the way, for the most part, we had a great time doing the show. And I'll look back on it fondly. And again, looking forward to taking all the momentum we built on this show and put it into the new show. And we're going to have a lot of fun. I've already talked to some potential partners that are going to be involved in the program. So we're going to be looking forward to that. And again, I hope to announce this tomorrow. I don't want to say what it is just yet because, again, we may not be in a position to announce it tomorrow. But if we don't announce it tomorrow, we will announce the new podcast on Monday. And hopefully we'll have the first episode. I will say this about the new show. At least at the start, it will not be live. We will record it and we will announce that we've recorded it and it'll drop like a lot of other podcasts. But a lot of podcasts are not done live anyway. It's recorded. They may want to edit something out of it. I'm not that smart enough to do that just yet. So we're going to do the podcast remotely from a remote studio. We're going to record it. We'll let you know when they're going to post. But again, all those details and more will come either tomorrow or on Monday. Chris, what do you think the name of the new podcast should be? Any thoughts?
SportsBash 2.0.
No, there will not. No, we are not. Listen, somebody else can bring SportsBash back. I mean, we don't have any trademark on it, but the new show will have a brand new name, and we'll find out what that is tomorrow or on Monday. I want to thank all of our sponsors over the years. Obviously, I just mentioned Vinny and Ticketbash.com and the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund and Ryan Anthony Heating and Air Conditioning Service, a great sponsor. The Marty Lyons Foundation has been our charitable partner from the moment that we launched the show. And again, my family and I are volunteers with the Marty Lyons Foundation. We are incredibly proud to be part of that. We just had the Marty Lyons draft party last week in Bayshore. That was a great event. So we thank the Marty Lyons Foundation for their support over the last 3 years. Coaches Collectibles has been our memorabilia partner for about a year now. Before that, we had Living Legends was our partner. We thank both of them for being great partners here on Sports Bash, both Warren at Living Legend and Dom at Coaches Collectibles. And we hope to continue a relationship with at least one of them or both of them going forward. We'll see how that goes. I mentioned guests before. There have been so many guests over the show. I mentioned a few of them. Mike Del Giudice, Phil Simms, Joe Theismann, Benoit Hogue was an in-studio guest. I remember Matt Hardy. That was a fun. We had Matt Hardy. And here's the other thing too. And I did mention this before. When you talk about guests, we took the show to Las Vegas a couple of years ago for the Super Bowl. We were on Radio Row for 3 days, and we did a whole bunch of interviews, and that was so much fun to be able to take Sports Bash on the road to Radio Row at the Super Bowl, which is a pretty cool thing. So we thank everybody that was a part of that. Our phone callers, again, not like we had a full bank of phone callers all the time, but we had a few here and there, and mainly Glenn from Flushing was a great phone caller, and obviously. People know the story. We went to high school together, so that's why he called the show all the time. And also Robin Lake Success. He used to call when I would do overnights on WFAN. He called that show and he called Sports Bash. And we actually had him. He was an FOP. He was in studio for an hour and gave me an original Islanders program during that FOP segment. So that was pretty good. I'm killing time pretty good here at the end, right? Yeah, 6 minutes to go. I don't know if we'll last the whole 6 minutes, but we'll see. I want to thank all the people who worked on the show with me. We had Wiz on to do Stump the Wiz earlier, so thanks. He was always a big part of the show. Thanks to our social media coordinators, Leanne Burgess, who worked with us here for the last few months, and hope to work with Leanne again very, very soon on some other projects. So Leanne was a wonderful addition. to the team before her. Connor Kalb did a great job with all the social media stuff, so we thank him for his assistance. And then again, we can't get on the air without somebody setting this up, laptops, links, and all that stuff. Chris Gannon was our video coordinator when we had the show at LI News Radio, and then we maintained a very close relationship. And when Governors was closed, we came back here, and you warmly welcomed us back here for the last 3 weeks as we wrap things up. So thank you, my friend, for everything that you have done for us. And please don't hurt the football. But thank you very much for everything. And hopefully we'll get to work together on some things as well. So, and thanks to him and his staff at Collaborate. John Caracciolo, Joe Girani, and Joe Edelman at LI News Radio, where the show started in 2023. We've maintained a close relationship with them. I hope to still be doing something with them in the near future. So we thank them. They were responsible for us getting on the air 3 years ago. And of course, thanks to Tony Walker and everyone at Governor's Comedy Club, our home since October of 2024. They were wonderful partners with us on the program. Tony and I had some great laughs on the show. And through that, I got a chance to be on some of the other shows at Governor. So I look forward to that continuing. If any of those shows still ever want to have me on as a guest, I'm only 7 or 8 minutes away, so we can definitely take care of that. We didn't always have a lot of viewers. Most viewers watched the show after it was over. Today, we had a high number. I think everybody at the IFL was tuning in because they thought Jared was going to be on. But we had a lot of people watching today. But there were always 3 people who tuned in all of the time. I don't think they ever missed a show. Obviously, my wife, Cheryl, my mother, Ruth Schwartz, watching in Florida, and my mother-in-law, Gail Schwartz, was always watching the show. And by the way, you said, wait a minute, they both have the last name Schwartz? Yes, my wife's maiden name was Schwartz. I think we discussed it a couple of times. So those 3 watched every single episode, and I cannot thank them enough. And again, everybody who watched and listened over the years, we thank them. But also my family. Again, my wife, Cheryl, my sons, Bradley and Jared, all their love and support. I mean, sometimes I was a pain in the ass doing this show. And sometimes it came out the wrong way, my frustrations. But through all of it, they were there all the time. And could not thank them enough for all the shows I hosted here on SportsBash. They have been very helpful in putting it together because, look, I'm an idiot. So sometimes, like, what do you do in this situation? And my wife would help me out with something, or Jared would make a suggestion. Jared and Bradley used to call the show all the time, too. When we were at LI News Radio, they were home from school. They called the show. Sometimes they disguise themselves a little bit, but we always knew. Jared's alias was Franklin Schweitzer. He used to call the show, especially when we were giving tickets away, like when we had a ticket giveaway, and Franklin Schweitzer would send in to be on Stump the Wiz, or he would call the show as Franklin Schweitzer from Levittown or whatever. Bradley called in as Bradley. He didn't make any bones about it. But thanks to everybody in my family for supporting the show. And that's, as David Letterman said at the end of his show, that's about all I got. And that will do it for the final edition of SportsBash. Thanks again to everyone for watching and listening. For everybody who has ever been associated with this show, I'm Peter Schwartz. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you very, very soon at a new location on a new podcast that we're very excited about. So this is not a sad day. It's a bittersweet day because we're sad to see SportsBash go, but we're very, very excited about what lies ahead. Hopefully we'll have details for you on that tomorrow or on Monday. We'll see you at the new show. Thanks for watching SportsBash.